Welcome into Rockville High School, the site of this 2024 Class Single A State Tournament opening round matchup as the McKenzie Rebels take on the Gordonsville Tigers. I'm Noah McKay on the call here on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network. Thrilled to be joined once again by my friend Jacob Vincent. It is the final event of the day here in day number 1 of the 31st Spring Fling, which has been taking place across Murfreesboro. And my goodness, are we happy to be here live and in color, live on the main UCR Facebook page, YouTube channel, and the NFHS Network this evening. We certainly appreciate the TWSAA for working with us and helping us be able to bring this to you in video fashion. Here live as the sun sets, you'll see it to your right. Thankfully, it's not as bad for you at home as it is for us here in the building, but this is a good matchup as the Gordonsville Tigers, with a record of 23-9 on a 7-game win streak, take on the McKenzie Rebels with a record of 19-14-1. They are also on a 7-game win streak, and each school making their 5th appearance here in the state tournament, but 2 different levels of success here in the Spring Fling. For Gordonsville, this is their 5th appearance in the last 8 seasons, but they're 4-8 all time. Their last time here was a couple of seasons ago in 2022. That was after they made 3 straight from 2016 through 2018. For the McKenzie Rebels and their head coach Chris Wall, this is their 5th appearance. They're 12-6 all time in this tournament. Their 3rd straight appearance, they were runners-up in 2022, and they won this tournament in 2006. The winner of this game faces the University School out of Johnson City tomorrow at 12:30. The loser has their backs against the wall when they will face Halls at 10 a.m. here at Rockville. The excitement's in the air, Jacob. We've been all over creation today. You caught a couple of softball games earlier. You came in, you didn't know you were coming here, but you're the best pinch hitter in the game, came over here to Rockville now, and this one should be a real fun baseball game.
Yeah, we're ready to step up to the plate and hit a home run for this broadcast. And for Gordonsville, you said it, 7 wins in a row, but they're taking on one heck of a team in McKenzie, and they've got one pitcher on the mound that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the state in football. He's one of the best pitchers in the state in baseball, in Tate Serber, and I mean, he's been great this season. He goes complete games quite a bit. He can pile up the strikeouts, and this McKenzie team, big reason they're here is because of Serber on the mound.
For three straight appearances for Tate Serber, complete game shutouts. Yeah. He is legit. Maybe the best, if not the best, the second best quarterback in this state on the football field. He can throw it, whether it's a football or a baseball. Gordonsville has their work cut out for them, and they will bat 1 through 9 like this. Leading things off, speaking of good football quarterbacks, is Jay Foster, the shortstop. He'll be followed up by the center fielder, Kyle Adams. Batting 3rd is the left fielder, Tucker Smith. Batting cleanup is the 3rd baseman, Sam Albritton. Batting 5th for the Tigers is the 2nd baseman, Tristan Wood. Batting 6th, the 1st baseman, Eddie Rivera. Batting 7th is the catcher, Chris Matthews. Batting 8th, the designated hitter, Brody Sykes. And batting 9th is the right fielder, Dalton Hancock. The pitcher today for the Gordonsville Tigers is Colton Bennett. The weather, it was really hot earlier. It's pretty nice right now. The sun is starting to set. It's 80 degrees at first pitch. We'll be in the 70s. Once the sun's gone, it's going to be really nice out here at Rockville. Yeah. Can't ask for much more here in the Spring Fling, and a great uniform combo as the all-red jerseys for McKenzie against the all-blue jerseys for the Tigers. And for Gordonsville, they've been really good all season long, 23-9. They tested themselves out of their district, beating Friendship Christian. They got beat by a really good Upperman team on the road, but they tested themselves to try to prepare themselves for a run, undefeated through the postseason, and now they get one of the best pitchers in the state to try to open up this state tournament.
Yeah, you test yourself for this position right here. When you get to the state tournament, you're not surprised when you see a guy like Serber on the mound, who he's going to attack you in the zone. He's going to have velocity as well, and especially here at the 1A classification. Gordonsville Tigerettes kind of do the same thing in that softball side. Hey, there's a UT commit on that side. Well, you might have something like that here on this side as well for McKenzie.
Serber, the right-handed pitcher, lines up Jay Foster, the young quarterback, guard, leadoff hitter, shortstop, one of the best athletes in the school and beyond, standing in here. This will be a fun battle to watch tonight. And the first pitch of this opening round game is fired in there for strike 1, and it's 0-1 here at Rockville High School.
Yeah, and you look around here, the crowds are absolutely tremendous from both sides. Obviously, Gordonsville, not too far of a trip for them. McKenzie is showing out as well.
Here comes the 0-1 Serber. Real professional release. That one misses up. 1-1 deliberately lifts that leg up and fires home. We welcome you in wherever you're watching today, live on the main UCR Facebook page, YouTube channel, and the NFHS network this evening. Whether you're watching for Gordonsville, McKenzie, or just interested in the state tournament, we hope you enjoy tonight's broadcast as that breaking ball misses for a 2-1 count here to Jay Foster.
Server's he's a big kid. He's 6'4", 205 listed, and he's going to bring it in there with some velocity.
The 2-1 pitch, that one fired in, the fastball. And that's going to be called a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike here to Jay Foster, and he's got a lot of speed there in that batter's box. Behind him is Kyle Adams. He'll pitch at some point in this tournament. Here comes the 3-1. Serber delivers. That one fired in there, a fastball right down Main Street, and we run full in the opening batter in the opening game for both these two teams in the tournament.
Well, the one thing for Foster, he's at least working this count early on.
3-2 payoff pitch coming home to Foster. This one sent up into the air, maybe catchable. First baseman backpedaling into foul territory and will backpedal all the way underneath it to make the catch. Nicely done there for Craig and Travis, and it's 1 up, 1 down for Serber on the mound despite the battle by Jay Foster.
Yeah, that's a good job, able to track it back. And again, the sun not an issue, at least for the fielders out there right now, with the exception of maybe the catcher that has to kind of look up into the sky at some point in this game. But good first down, especially after a good battle, and Foster able to kind of get that pitch count up just a little bit to start the game.
And the pitch count, something very interesting to watch. We talked about it earlier in the in the game we had previous between Halls and the University School. Two different approaches when it came to the pitch counts. As some coaches want to keep their guys available maybe for a Thursday or a Friday. Others are throwing it all out there to try and win today. A double elimination tournament means you can play with some things, especially in this first game. Serber with a 1-0 coming home to Kyle Adams. Big swing and a miss on that one, and it's 1-1. Serber with really good strikeout stuff. He can rev it past you. We've been all over creation today. Goose especially, Rusty as well, as the 1-1. Breaking ball. Adams flicks this one, and that one's going to be grabbed by the second baseman. Throw down to first is in time. Really nice range in the infield for Hayden Garrett to get there and throw out Adams for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that's a speedy Adams running down first base. He had to get over there quickly, over that second base bag, and able to get it in quickly, and a really nice play.
2 up, 2 down, and Tucker Smith going to stride in here. The record for McKenzie, the quote-unquote worst on this half of the bracket at 19-14. But when Serber's been on the mound, they've been very tough to beat this season. They hope that gives them a leg up here today against this Tiger squad. Standing in here is Tucker Smith. The left fielder swings to the first pitch. Serber goes down to grab it and jogs over, flips to first, and it went off the glove. An error allows Tucker Smith to reach. It looked like it was going to be inning over, no problem. But the error extends it, and it brings up the big Sam Albritton, another multi-sport athlete, and try to do some damage.
Well, that's why you run it out down that first base bag, because you never know what's going to happen. Seemed like it was going to be an easy play, an easy 3 up, 3 down inning for Serber, but instead, you mentioned it, goes off the glove, and now you've got a runner on first base, and if you're the Tigers, try to cash in on this.
Climbing in here is Sam Albritton, the third baseman today. Lead it first over for Tucker Smith, who, as you said, he did leg it out, and that's what McKenzie will want to have back early on in this game. But they've got their ace on the mound for a reason. First pitch, fastball, fired in there out of the stretch for strike 1. And that gets the groan from the Gordonsville fans. They thought it was maybe outside, but it's a called strike 1. Great crowds on hand, as you mentioned. McKenzie and Gordonsville, they've traveled out here. Gordonsville, they make a day of it. Go over to the Starplex, now swing down here as that one misses upstairs. 1-1 to Albritton. Tristan Wood on deck. One thing you'll notice about this Tiger squad, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
They've got
they don't look like a 1A.
No, they've got a lot of size. Of course, multi-sport athletes, as you see for both teams in this single A classification especially. 1-1. This one swung on and laced out into center field. It's going to hang up there and drops in. The runner heading to third. The throw in, not in time. And heads up base running by Albritton moves him over to second. 2 in scoring position. Thought it may have a chance in center. And Tucker Smith, very aggressive on the base paths, legs it out to third. And now the Tigers threatening for Tristan Wood.
Well, I mentioned they got to take advantage, and that's exactly what they did right there. The center fielder just kind of slowly coming up to it, not expecting him to run through to third base, able to force it. And the throw was a pretty good one, just a little bit into that home plate area, home plate side of the bag, and just unable to be put down on the tag.
Yeah, Brown had to respect the power of Albritton, so he was playing very far back there in center. Couldn't get up to field that one before it bounced in. It was a good throw in, but so much speed out there on the base paths, the top half of the order for Gordonsville. Tristan Woods ahead in the count 1-0. There is an empty bag over there at first. That one is across, misses for a ball, 2-0. Speaking of big, Eddie Rivera is in the warm-up circle next to us. This is a large young man.
Looked like you in high school.
He's a lot more muscular than I was in high school. As the 2-0 catches the zone, it's 2-1. Height-wise, sure.
There's about a mile of foul territory.
There
here,
is.
by the way.
It is a gigantic backstop as well. We saw a lot of balls get passed in that first game as that fastball revved up, and it's 3-1 right now. Serber trying to dial it back in as Wood has a hitter's count. Wind gusting, but it's nice when that wind starts gusting out here 3-1 pitch coming home. That one, ball 4, bases juiced for the Gordonsville Tigers. Top of the first inning, but there are 2 outs. And here is the big man, Eddie Rivera, the first baseman, striding in, trying to strike.
You talked about this. McKenzie team won 7 games in a row. In those 7 games, 4 of those were shutouts. They do not give up a lot of runs. If Gordonsville is able to strike first here in the top of the first inning, that would be a great start, especially against Serber on the mound, who gives up even less runs when he's pitching.
Tate Serber trying to battle in here. Bases loaded. And that pitch is across. Good one for strike 1 into Eddie Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera, big opportunity here again. Felt like they could have been out of this inning on the ground ball right back up the middle. The flip just a little bit errant.
The 0-1 coming here to Rivera. Slide step. That's a good slider in there for strike 2. And Serber rallying back from the walk. He's ahead 0-2, and he can go anywhere he wants to with this one. Big pitch here. The 0-2 with the bases loaded. Serber slides and deals. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. A big punch out there for Tate Serber on the mound as he strands the bases loaded. We'll head to the bottom half of the first. Still scoreless. You're watching the Class Single A State Tournament presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
What if opportunity was all in a day's work?
We find new ways to make vacation dreams a reality. And that inspires me to do my best work every single day.
What if you can make a real impact in people's lives with a team that cares?
What I do matters, not just for guests, but for my team. We rely on each other each and every day.
What if your work inspired fun and moved people?
We put the world on vacation. Our job is to make people happy. Inspiring travelers around the world to live their best lives never stops being fulfilling.
At Travel and Leisure, what if can be what is. Stop wondering. Join the travel movement and start a career where memories start with you.
We head to the bottom of the first inning. McKenzie coming up to bat here in a scoreless game. The Rebels bat 1 through 9 like this. Leading things off is the second baseman, Hayden Garrett. Batting second is the catcher, Jake Cassidy. Batting third, the third baseman, Fletcher Holt. Batting fourth is the pitcher, Tate Serber. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Cole Brown. Batting sixth is the right fielder, Gage Crosland. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Leland Gordon. Batting eighth, the first baseman, Craig Travis. Batting ninth is the shortstop, Lane Anderson. Their opponent on the mound, the sophomore left-hander Colton Bennett, and he's tasked with limiting McKenzie. And was a big first inning for Tate Serber. Got into some trouble with bases loaded, 2 outs, was able to rev up and get the fastball by for strike 3 and strand the bases loaded. Just one hit, but a couple of walks mixed in. One walk, I should say, and an error. That inning should have been over a lot earlier. The error extended it. Gordonsville unable to cash in, though.
Yeah, it should have. It was the error, like you said. And I said it, you got to take advantage whenever an error like that happens. They got runners on bases loaded, just unable to bring them home.
Hayden Garrett, the second baseman, stands in. The sophomore left-hander fires a fastball, misses low and outside. Ball 1. Here, Colton Bennett tasked with trying to limit McKenzie. There's some good arms in this Gordonsville rotation. Here comes the 1-0. That one misses a little bit low. Quickly 2-0 here. Turning into just a perfect night. It was red hot earlier, melting away. The equipment was melting away. Now getting nicer as the sun sets. 2-1 as that fastball catches the knees. All of our spring fling content is presented by our friends at Gentry's Power Equipment, your hometown steel and Exmark dealer. Located around Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville as this one's found out of play. Gentry's Power Equipment, they helped us out in a major way to be here all week long. It was expensive. It is expensive. The crew is hanging out. They're taking over some poor hotel.
Having fun.
They are. And 2-2, producing a lot of content coming. Tennis, track and field, baseball, softball. That one bounces away. And now we run full to the opening hitter in the order, Hayden Garrett. Catching the balls and strikes today for the Tigers is Chris Matthews. We'll tell you about the rest of the defense in between batters as Hayden Garrett has a 3-2 count against Colton Bennett on the mound.
And Bennett slipped up a little bit there on that pitch. He was kind of doing some yard work there on where his landing area is and then trying to get the dirt out of his cleats.
3-2 payoff pitch. Fastball. Misses ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk for Hayden Garrett. The Rebels have a runner at first for Jake Cassidy.
The Rebels now get that runner on, and saw that with Foster. He worked a 3-2 count, but then the strikeout, and now the Rebels going to try to cash in with that base runner.
The first baseman today for the Tigers is Eddie Rivera. Tristan Wood is at second. Samuel Britton at third. The shortstop is Jay Foster. Out in left field, Tucker Smith. The right fielder, Dalton Hancock. And the center fielder is Kyle Adams. First pitch fired in there for Bennett. That's a bounce back fastball for strike one. He'll get into the low 80s with it.
A good get-ahead pitch as well, and especially when you got a lefty on the mound. Lefties are always sought after when you're able to get a good fastball in there, mix in a few breaking balls, some off-speed pitches.
Throw over, trying to keep the runner honest. Hayden Garrett, he's at the top of the order for a reason. He can run out there.
It's a good move as well. That's that 45-degree step.
Saw a runner get caught out on a pick-off in our first game. Saw University School defeat Halls. This one's going to be fouled out of play, and it's quickly 0-2 here to Cassidy. Behind him is Fletcher Holt, and then Tate Serber. The big bats coming up next. Have not seen a home run today. Haven't seen anything really flirt with being a home run today. Big ballpark here. The dimensions aren't up, but it plays large, and there's a 10-foot fence all the way around.
Looks like it's uphill out and left.
It goes up side for wherever they're blowing stuff up before our first game today. The 0-2 pitch. That one misses a little bit low. Good take that time for Cassidy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. These two teams separated by several hundred miles across the state. The Tigers and the Rebels getting it on here.
Not as far as Halls and University.
No, those about as
quite
far.
Literally as far as you can get.
Yes, indeed. The 1-2 coming home here. That one looking for the off speed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a patient approach here early. The McKenzie Rebels batters. Got a walk on the full count to Hayden Garrett. Now Cassidy's worked the 2-2, and you mentioned the pitch count. You love to run that up and force decisions to be made sooner rather than later. The 2-2 pitch. This one swung on. Third baseman eats him up, bounces over to short underneath his glove. And a couple of different opportunities there for Gordonsville results in runners at first and second here for McKenzie.
Yeah, sharply hit, and I think it would have been a tough play for either one of them. Foster tried to come behind from his shortstop position and pick it up as well after it goes off the third baseman's glove. But even if Foster's able to glove it cleanly, going to be a tough play over to first. So it was a nice hard hit there. And really now the Campbell's going to have to make some pitches.
We'll see how the TWAA goes about doing this. Colton Bennett trying to battle in now. Runners at first and second. I'm going to rule that a single. So give Cassidy the single. And I've got TWAA here. They're scoring it, so I don't have to
just go
worry about it. Exactly right.
That's what's going in the record books.
Runners at first and second. There's a good slider in there from Bennett. He likes to rip it across the zone. Left-handed pitcher into a right-handed batter, 1-0. 0-1, I should say.
Coach is making a good point to their catcher, saying if you let anything get past, not only could they advance, they could score from second.
Well, check swing, didn't offer at it. They appeal down to first. 1 ball, 1 strike here after the walk and the single. Garrett stands at second, Cassidy at first. And Fletcher Holt at the plate. And a lot of power in the form of Tate Serber, who would love to give himself some run support. The way he's pitched lately, McKenzie feels like 1 is enough. He is not allowed to run in his last 3 starts.
He was able to work around the trouble and kind of build his confidence as well in that top of the first inning.
Long look in, the 1-1 coming here. Bennett revs up the fastball, misses outside, 2-1, and a lot of pitches here early on for Colton Bennett. Just a sophomore here. Big moment for that young man on the mound in a state tournament.
He's struggling to find the strike zone a little bit right now. He got the ground ball, unable to get the play, get the out. He's trying to find and attack these hitters.
Now step off. Tigerette softball doing what they do. The defending champs marching through today. 13-1, is that the correct score? Look at that, 13-1. This is a great slider in there, and it's 2-2. Been the best pitch for Bennett so far, that slider.
Yeah, 13-1. Everybody getting involved offensively. Plumlee again, tremendous in the circle. 15 strikeouts. Didn't go all 7 innings. Just went 6 1/3, trying to rest her up a little bit for tomorrow.
2 balls, 2 strikes here. Fletcher Holt. Bennett kicks and deals. Another slider. This one's rolled over foul. He's really starting to lean on that breaking ball. will do it again.
Well, he's been able to throw it for strikes, and especially when these batters are kind of freezing at it when they see it come out of his hands. And then if you're able to start placing that fastball, kind of have a 1-2 punch going.
A chance coming from the McKenzie dugout. They've got runners on first and second with nobody out. The 2-2 pitch, fastball, and fouled off. And we got a good battle here between Holt and Bennett out there on the mound.
Yeah, trying to work this one, especially with runners on first and second. The Rebels trying to strike first here in the bottom of the inning. You mentioned how good of a record they have here in the state tournament. Gordonsville, seeing if they can work around some base runners.
12-8, 12-6 rather, all time in the state tournament. Easy for me to say. Gordonsville 4-8 all time. Here comes the 2-2, another slider, and that time lays off, blocked up behind the plate, and we run full again, second time in 3 batters, a full count here. And Holt's trying to get on any way he can and set the table for Tate Serber, who's on deck.
It's a really good block because, again, this is probably the biggest backstop any of these teams have played on here at Rockville. There's so much space back there that not only both runners could advance up to second and third, you'd think about maybe trying it from second if it gets away enough.
Yeah, Matthews behind the dish did a nice job to block that one up there for Gordonsville. Tigers are 23-9, Rebels 19-14-1. Holt with a 3-2 count. Colton Bennett, lefty, big leg kick, fires in. Ball 4. Bases loaded now for the McKenzie Rebels with still nobody out, and it's time for a trip out here for Coach to have a word with Bennett on the mound. Colton Bennett, he's had some pretty decent stuff, but it's been a great approach by the Rebels at the plate.
Yeah, been very patient. They're waiting for him to bring the strikes to them. They're not forcing any swings, but now you talk about that danger red line. Well, you've got one of the best hitters on the team coming to the plate, the cleanup batter with bases loaded and nobody out. You have to get this guy out at the plate. You would love a strikeout. You'd also take a ground ball up the middle and see if you can't turn a double play, surrender a run. But if you're able to get 2 outs in a run, I think you're okay with that.
Garrett worked a walk to lead off the game. He's now at third. Cassidy singled. He's at second. Fletcher Holt, he walked. He's at first. Bases juice for Tate Serber. Nobody out. That's the difference. Gordonsville, they had it, but they had 2 out. Here, McKenzie, nobody out, and the home plate umpire are going to come out and have a word after a long discussion by Coach Humes. And umpire now gets there, and big moment here. Youngster on the mound, trying to battle in.
That's the thing, just a sophomore and stepping in here in a big position. First game of the state tournament. I'm sure there's some nerves in there, but he's throwing some good pitches. Just has to get a few strikes across, settle him down a little bit.
To your point, the pitch count is going to be something to watch with nobody out. He's at 18 now. And he'll bring up Tate Serber with the bases loaded. And now he can go out of the windup again with the bases loaded. So here we go. Middle infield at double play depth. Corners in. Big swing and a foul tip back. Serber was trying to touch them all on that one. 0-1.
Yeah, and that's a good get-ahead pitch there as well to kind of, again, settle those nerves. Keep them trying to get that first out.
Another long look in. Now here comes the 0-1. Fastball misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nowhere to put Tate Serber. Cole Brown behind him as McKenzie tries to strike first here in this opening round game in the Single A state tournament. Bennett kicks and deals the 1-1. Bounces in. This one gets away from the catcher, and not a lot of aggressiveness over there as it rolled down the third baseline, and actually coming up to get it was Colton Bennett behind the dish. Chris Matthews didn't know where it was.
Yeah, you could see it, and I think the reason they held there at third base because it bounced back up to that third base side and expecting the catcher to get out there.
And Coach is saying to Matthews behind the dish, that's not what he called.
Yeah.
That pitch was not what he called. Here comes the 2-1. Colton Bennett, that one misses low. It's 3 balls and 1 strike now. To maybe the best hitter in the order, Tate Serber, and nowhere to put him with the bases loaded.
Got to make a good pitch. Big pitch here.
Bennett. Out of the windup. Fires home to 3-1. That one's in there for strike 2. And again, the third time in this inning already, We've got a full count. The first two ended up in walks.
There you go. They got that strike across, and now probably the biggest pitch that he's thrown here in this game.
Biggest pitch he's thrown in his high school career. The payoff pitch swung on, foul back, and now they'll do it again.
It's such a deflating feeling. Feel like you make a good pitch up in the zone, elevated fastball, swings at it and fouls it off, and got to do it one more time.
Another 3-2 coming home here. The payoff pitch to Serber. Bennett delivers, and guess what? It's fouled off. McKenzie battling at the plate here early on in this one. Bennett's having to make good pitch after good pitch.
He would love a ground ball up the middle.
Another 3-2 coming here. Bennett after a long look in. Kicks and deals out of the windup. Must have been outside. Ball 4. And that will score a run. The third walk of the inning. This time it's an RBI for Tate Serber, and the base is still loaded for Cole Brown.
Yeah, it looked like hit his spot where he wanted to. It's been just outside.
Yeah, we, of course, we're here. You see where we are. We can't really see inside out. We can see up and down pretty well, but not inside out.
Not at all.
So that one had to have been outside. It wasn't inside. We know that. But
now the whole infield's going to come in. Outfield's coming in, too.
Cole Brown. He's going to try to send one over somebody's head. Bennett fires in a fastball. That's called strike one.
It's interesting because they had the middle infield at double play depth when Serber was up. And now really no change, just a run across. And now they bring those middle infielders in to try to cut down the run.
Maybe now you're not okay with trading it out for a run. You know runs will be at a premium with Serber on the other side if you're Gordonsville. That one, good breaking ball in there for strike two. You go from saying, okay, 1-0 in exchange for 2 outs, but now 2-0 in exchange for an out. It's not worth it if you're coach.
Oh, now for Bennett as well. You're able to get 2 strikes ahead. One of the first times he's been ahead 0-2 and instill a little bit of confidence back in that arm.
The 0-2 coming home here to Brown. Fastball up and out. Nothing doing. 1-2. A lot of pitches been thrown already here with still nobody out. Colton Bennett trying to lock it in and batten down the hatches. Sets and deals the 1-2. Another slider. Called. Strike 3. A Birdie's Lounge strikeout for Colton Bennett, and that's a big first out for the Tigers defense. Gage Crosland now will stride in. He's the right fielder. He's got the bases loaded with only 1 out.
Yeah, that's massive because now you're going to send those middle infielders back because now a ground ball up the middle. You have a chance to turn 2 and end the inning. And so that strikeout helps a ton. You're able to get out of this, only allowing the run. You feel just fine going to the second.
Over 30 pitches. That is the 31st coming home here for Gage Crosland. First pitch, fastball waved at and missed. Hitting the lower half of the order, and you can see Bennett going to a little bit more of attack mode there on the mound.
Yeah, you have to now, especially since he's been behind in so many of these batters. You have to attack the zone. If they're going to hit it, they're going to hit it.
0-1, back-to-back fastballs fired in, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, just blew it right by him, and now, again, you've got an open book. You can go to the slider. You can go right back to that fastball as well. He's been late on both of them.
Crosland takes a longer step out and now back in. Bennett with the 0-2. This one golfed at and sent foul. Impressive to be able to get to that one. It was coming toward the dirt. 0-2 again.
And it's interesting. McKenzie takes a little bit of time when they step out between pitches. Home plate umpire kind of ushering them back in almost each time that they step out.
The 0-2 coming home. Slider got him again. The back-to-back Birdie's Lounge strikeout. And Colton Bennett looks like a new young man out there. Still bases loaded, but now back-to-back punch-outs have given him life in this inning. Leland Gordon going to try and solve him now.
Yeah, the big thing is he's getting ahead to these batters. He's able to get that first strike across, and now he's able to work ahead and kind of go different places in the zone. And now you've got the 2 outs. You can kind of pitch to contact if you need to.
Gordon trying to put it in play. And now that fastball in the mid-80s is firing in for Colton Bennett.
It was a bad swing, too. I mean, that was up and in, and he was way out in front, turning his head. I would throw it again in the same spot.
0-1. Bennett all of a sudden pounding the zone. There it is again. 0-2. And now the Gordonsville fans are in it behind us, but still the bases loaded. One swing of the bat for Gordon, and they have every ounce of momentum for McKenzie. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed. Colton Bennett dials it in after giving up the run on the walk with 3 straight Birdie's Lounge strikeouts, and that will retire the side. The Rebels get 1 but leave the bases loaded. It's 1-0. You're watching the Class Single A State Tournament presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Frontier Chevrolet is ready to get you into your next vehicle and are proud to offer a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly all vehicles below 80,000 miles. View inventory online at www.caseychevy.com, including the brand new Chevy Trax and Traverse, or stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway today. Remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Delicious Pan Pizza is Domino's best-kept secret, with locations in Smithville, Sparta, Livingston, Allgood, and 2 in Cookeville. Delicious pan and hand-tossed pizza, pasta, and more is never far away. Use the Domino's app to take care of your game day eats today. Domino's is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student-athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They're also proud to sponsor the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Seven, 8, 9 due up here for the Gordonsville Tigers. It's the McKenzie Rebels with a 1-0 lead. But how about the lefty sophomore Colton Bennett to walk home a run and then lock it in? 3 straight strikeouts, Jacob. That was an impressive end, but McKenzie with their ace on the mound in Cerber got to feel good about the fact that they're 1-0 despite how that inning ended.
Well, it's exactly what they needed, especially the struggles that he had finding the strike zone, getting to 3-2 counts, and then able to work his way back into it and get those punch-outs. And now it feels like he's able to get that confidence going now here into this second inning of work. And he also saw maybe a little bit of a drop-off in those at-bats from those top 4 through the bottom 5 in that McKenzie lineup. And when you look at the schedule, you look at the record, 19-14-1, there's a reason they're close to 500 on the schedule. And Cerber's not on the mound, not quite as a competitive team. Cerber is on the mound, though, and they've got the 1 run across. So now Gordonsville, you really got to bear down and try to get 1 or 2.
Let us know in the comments if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, who you are, where you're watching from, who you're cheering for in this one. Make sure you hit that like button on either place and share the stream so everyone knows we're live and in color tonight from Rockville. The sun is setting, and it's turned into a perfect evening for high school baseball. Final week of the season. Chris Matthews stands into the batter's box. Cerber's first pitch. This one is swung on and sent a long way into left field, angling over to the left. Did he get there? He did. A great job in left to angle over by Leland Gordon for out number 1 in the inning.
Yeah, he had to go a really long way so far that we can't even see him, blocked off by the Gordonsville dugouts. And it was close to that foul line, and it was hit pretty hard as well. First pitch swinging, trying to jump on the fastball, and just unable to get enough power on it to send it out of there.
Speaking of multi-sport athletes, great basketball player Brody Sykes climbs into the batter's box here on that right-handed side.
Another huge individual.
Absolutely. And Tate Cerber fires in. He goes with that slow motion and then explodes through. It misses for a ball 1-0. It was hotter than all get out earlier on today. Everything was melting everywhere, and
including us.
But we made it here. Here comes the 1-0. This one's popped up. Should be no problem. Second baseman against the clouds, angles under it, and makes the catch. And on 3 pitches, that's 2 outs. Hayden Garrett makes the catch. And it's quickly 2 up, 2 down, trying to retire the lower third of the order here for the Tigers.
Yeah, now for the Tigerettes, you really want to try to make this a competitive at-bat to try to get your lead-up batter and Jay Foster back to the plate and see if you can't try to get a little bit of a roll going here in the second.
Dalton Hancock, the right fielder and the 9-hole hitter, going to stand in here. Nobody on, so no reason really to try and bunt unless you just want to leg it out. Cerber's got range, though, on that mound. This one gets away into that deep backstop, 1-0. Jay Foster next to us. He's on deck. Would love to bat in this inning. If not, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, due up in the third for the Tigers. The 1-0, that one bounces in, 2-0 now. And it was with 2 outs where the trouble began in the first. After quickly going 2 up, 2 down, was a little error that's really a rare one, just to flip over to first. That one called a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, it was on the ground ball right back to him, and he just goes over, flips it over, just unable to handle it. And again, smart by the Tigers to leg it out.
Then Al Britton got a single, then a walk, loaded the bases, but a strikeout retired the side. Check swing, he offered at it. And from 2-0, it's 2-2 for Cerber, trying to dominate through this inning. We're in the top of the second this evening. 2-2. That one misses out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We run full. We've had a lot of full counts both ways early on in this game. Buckle up. This has the makings of a fun one. 3-2 payoff pitch coming from Serber with 2 outs. Into Hancock. This one's hit, and Serber got it again. This time he's going to jog over, and it's right on the money for the 3rd out. A quick 1-2 inning for Tate Serber, and the McKenzie defense sends him to the bottom of the 2nd. It's still 1-0 Rebels. This is the Class Single A State Tournament on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network, presented by Gentry's Power Equipment.
Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential and multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. From the sports field to the hunting field, our friends at Hall Sports and Outdoors can outfit anyone. Located in the heart of Jamestown at 207 South Main Street, Hall Sports and Outdoors carries everything from kayaks, fishing gear, and camo to guns and ammo. With top brands such as Columbia, Timberland, Under Armour, Asics, and much more, nobody can top their selection. Need some custom gear for your team? They also offer uniforms, gear, and custom embroidery. Stop by and see them at 207 South Main Street in Jamestown. Hall Sports and Outdoors, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
8-9-1, due up for the McKenzie Rebels here in the bottom of the 2nd inning in Rockville. This is not Murfreesboro. It is Rockville, but it's Murfreesboro adjacent here. Adjacent. That's a fun word that I made up. That's a new thing. Adjacent.
Caught me off guard.
I was just going to act like it didn't happen, but thank you, Jacob.
You know, listen.
It is Rutherford
this is
County.
Game number 3.
But it's a lot closer than Eagleville, where the other side of this 1A state tournament is. As that one's in there for strike 1. Colton Bennett looks like a brand new kid after getting into trouble with the bases loaded, walking home a run. He's had 3 straight punch-outs, and he's ahead 0-1 here, Craig and Travis. Quickly waved out in foul tip back, 0-2.
And you saw the defensive alignment come in a little bit when that 5th batter comes to the plate and on down through this 9 spot. And
this breaking ball fouled off. We'll do it again. Now, how about this? The last 3 batters. 0-2, punch out. 0-2, punch out. 0-2, punch out. Now 0-2 again here to Craig and Travis. As Bennett's looking for another one to the 8-hole hitter. And that is called strike 3. Fastball across at the knees, and it is 4 straight Birdie's Lounge punch-outs for Colton Bennett.
Yeah, doing his best. Kaylee Plumley on the mound right now for the Tigers here on the baseball diamond. 4 in a row. You mentioned it, and this is exactly what you got to do, especially against the bottom of this lineup. You have to attack these hitters and try to sit them down in order.
Lane Anderson, the shortstop, trying to buck the trend as the first pitch misses outside for ball 1.
First ball he's thrown in a while.
Next up is the top of the order with Hayden Garrett, and they create some problems. Only 1 hit, but walks. Great approach as this one's fouled back, and it's 1-1. The Rebels under head coach Chris Wall. This is their 3rd straight appearance here in the state tournament. They were runners-up in 2022 and haven't won it since back in 2006, though. Gordonsville looking for their first baseball state championship. The 1-1. That one right there in the outside corner. Bennett's dialing them in now. 1-2. A lot of credit right now to Colton Bennett on the mound. He's looking for another one. Here comes the 1-2. Slider. That one started out looking like it was going to hit him before dipping back towards the zone, but it didn't miss. 2-2.
Nasty. Get him to turn all the way around.
The 2-2. Big leg kick. Fastball. 5 straight Birdie's Lounge strikeouts for Colton Bennett. The sophomore lefty is dealing on the mound. The lineup flips over for Hayden Garrett.
They just needed the sun to go down a little bit, and I think the nerves have settled down a little bit as well. And
coach yelled out back. The defensive alignment shifts for the top
as that
4 in the
leadoff
lineup.
Comes up.
Top 4, they were playing more straight up then. They came in. Now Hayden Garrett, who walked and scored a run back in the first inning, scored the lone run in the game, bounces in for ball 1. Fastball, changeup, slider, and it was a changeup, and it was not what coach called, and he's not happy about it to our left. We're right here next to the Gordonsville dugout. He said, it is not what I called, the 1-0. That time fired it in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. For the 3 picks pitch mix. Wow.
I know what
It's
you're saying.
working. Yeah. No. We'll get there eventually. Here comes the 1-1. That slider, this one hit off the plate. It's a foul ball, and it's 1-2.
That was close.
Ahead again. Colton Bennett.
It's been really impressive, especially after the start that he had. Kind of able to settle down those nerves a little bit, work through a tough part of the lineup one time, and now this second time through, you've got your confidence.
The 1-2 slider. Close but no cigar. Deuces wild. 2-2.
Yeah, it kind of looked like just missed on that outside part of the plate, just off that plate.
2-2. Bennett delivers. Fastball. Swung on and missed, and it is 6 straight Birdie's Lounge strikeouts for Colton Bennett. 1-2-3, due up for the Tigers when we come back in the third. This is the Class Single A State Tournament presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy, UCR Media Network.
Clint Connor is your local auctions expert. With full service from start to finish, the Exit Crossroads Auction Group are here to make the process easy for you. Visit crossroadsauctiongroup.com for more details and current auctions. Clint Connor, your local auctions expert, is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Fire and Vine in Cookeville is the Upper Cumberland's home for delicious Chicago-style pizza, beef, chicken, fish, and more. Located in Cookeville's historic downtown district, Fire and Vine's food and atmosphere will keep you coming back for more. Take in stunning views with creative food and drinks on the rooftop. Fire and Vine is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
This has been a fun game so far. We head to the third, 1-0 McKenzie, and that run may hold up. Tate Serber, he's on the mound one way, and Colton Bennett on the other. He's struck out 6 in a row. It is 1-2-3, due up. Foster, Adams, and Smith here for the Tigers. Second time through the order for Tate Serber, as these two pitchers are pitching well through 2 innings.
Yeah, I think the second time through we'll kind of get to see what this Gordonsville team is made of. You've gotten one time to kind of time them up, and now your pitcher on the mound has really settled in and looked really good. And you try to use some of that to get some hits out there. Try to, not necessarily hits, just try to get on base. Been struggled to get on the base paths with the exception of that first inning after the error. If you can string those together, get some of that confidence going now into your bats.
Hardest working man in sports media, Michael Lindsay, is here to our left. He's got the Hubble telescope out today.
It's heavy. Hold that thing.
I want to take a picture
It's
with
heavy.
it. I'm going to take some pictures with it at some point this week. I'm going to make him call a game, and I'm going to shoot pictures with it. It's going to be wonderful. Oh, I'm going to shoot pictures right now. This is what we're talking about.
Strike
Sorry,
across.
I'm looking at the moon. Jacob, call this right now.
Yeah.
Hang on. Are you kidding me right
It's
now?
0-1.
This is insane.
Silver brings home the 0-1.
Oh, my goodness
And
gracious.
The breaking ball misses a little high, 1-1.
Anyway,
It's
tomorrow
pretty cool,
Michael
isn't it?
Lindsay's going to be calling the games. I'm going to be shooting with that thing. 1-1 coming in here
See the moon up there. See the aliens
to
on the
Jay
moon.
Foster. I just figured out what's in Area 51. Those photos are coming to UpperCumberlandReporter.com. If you're wondering what we're talking about, wait and see. They are awesome. The ones I just took, if you're a McKenzie fan, you'll love them. The 2-1. Breaking ball misses, 3-1. And so far, Serber, he's kind of flirting with that effectively wild stuff that we talk about. It hasn't been the crispest that he's been this year. Of course, here in the state tournament, here comes the 3-1. And as I say that, I thought it was going to be a strike. Instead, it's a ball. Ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk for Jay Foster. He heads down to first. Second walk of the game, and with nobody out, it'll bring up Kyle Adams.
Well, now you've got speed over there at first, and you wonder if you throw a little bit of small ball out here, another with a speed guy at the plate, try to move that runner into scoring position.
Jake Cassidy is behind the dish. See if they test his arm. 1-0 McKenzie. But the game has changed a little bit since that one run came across. This is going to be a big bottom half defensively for the Tigers when they face the heart of this order for McKenzie. Now, speaking of small ball, there's a pretty good bunt down that third base line by Kyle Adams, and he slips up. Everybody's safe. It's a bunt single for Kyle Adams, and it's 2 on with nobody out for Tucker Smith.
That's like we do a lot of baseball. We kind of know what we're talking about sometimes. That's a really good bunt by Adams down that third base line, and so much so third baseman really didn't, even if he fields that cleanly, he might not have a great shot at getting him at first.
Yeah, Holt was playing the bunt, but came up, and his feet slipped out from under him. They, of course, watered down the field in between games, but that was a great bunt by Kyle Adams. Now runners at first and second, and that's the second hit of the game for the Tigers. Bunt shown again, this time by Smith, but he pops it up. Infield was playing a little bit further back. Holt's pretty far back there. He's in the dirt. If you get one down here, it's the left fielder Smith. He's got some speed.
Yeah, now expecting it a little bit. That was kind of a late decision, too, kind of the delayed bunt.
Three-hole hitter here. He reached on that error to keep the first inning alive. Now he's got runners at first and second with nobody out. Shows bunt again. It's a good one. Down the first baseline, up to it. Throw down to first is in time. But the sacrifice bunt moves both runners into scoring position for Sam Albritton, who's 1 for 1 with a single.
Yeah, a really good small ball right now for the Tigers. And now you've got 2 runners in scoring position and your cleanup batter coming to the plate.
So Adams moves over to second. Foster's at third, and now here's Albritton. He hit it into center field in his first appearance. We mentioned no runs given up in the past 3+ games on the mound for Tate Serber. 3 complete game shutouts in a row. As the 0-1, that's a good job to go up and snag that one by Cassidy with his huge backstop. That scores at least 1 if it gets past. 1-0 coming here to Sam Albritton. There is the base empty over at first, and he was trying to send the first ball over the fence today at Rockville with that swing.
Look at the flag. It is blowing straight in from left field, so you're going to have to hit it about 400 feet to actually get it out here.
And it's cooling off a little bit, too, so you don't get that warm air boost. 1-1. Looking for the breaking ball. Didn't quite fall off the table. 2-1 now.
And you're also seeing the Tigers. Now they're being a little bit more patient at the plate. We saw this with the Rebels against Bennett early on. Bennett has since settled in.
2-1. Well, Britton laid off of it. He thought it was high. Umpire says it's there. It's 2-2.
Yeah, kind of right across the chest.
That's one of those. Is the strike zone the bottom of the letters, the middle of the letters, the underline of the letters? Is it the belly button? Where is it? The 2-2.
Umpire's discretion.
Yes, indeed. There's the breaking ball. Now Britton sends a charge into this one, and it is down. Another single. 1 run scores. Another run heading home. Great throw in from center. Tag is there, and it is in time. What a throw in from center. Cole Brown uncorked that one to gun the runner at home, but we are tied at 1.
That was one heck of a throw from center field. He let it drop in front of him, running from second base, and he had to pause for just a second to see if it was going to drop or not. So he got a late run trying to go to home. That was on the money and gunned him down by a good portion as well, a guy with a lot of speed.
Jay Foster scores the run. Adams thrown out at home. He got the go sign. He had a good jump, but it was just a tremendous throw by Brown and a good tag by Cassidy. And advancing over on the throw as that one misses for a ball was Albritton. So he's at second. Heads up base running there. A 1-0 count to Tristan Wood, who walked back in the first. So an RBI single for Albritton. That one called a ball. 2-0. Now Serber, first run given up in the last 4 starts for him. The 2-0, that one is across 2-1. Kind of battle back in, but they had that run to play with. So now it's a new ball game at 1-1.
Yeah, and especially with the way Bennett's throwing on the mound, you feel really good.
Yeah, we talked in this one earlier. Every team on the bottom half of the bracket felt like they had a chance as this one's chopped over. Second baseman ranges up. Got to make a good throw, and he does, and that retires the side. But the Tigers get a run back, and we are all tied up at 1 heading to the bottom half. Colton Bennett struck out 6 in a row. He's back on the mound when we come back. Coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy, UCR Media Network.
Fire and Vine in Cookeville is the Upper Cumberland's home for delicious Chicago-style pizza, beef, chicken, fish, and more. Located in Cookeville's historic downtown district, Fire and Vine's food and atmosphere will keep you coming back for more. Take in stunning views with creative food and drinks on the rooftop. Fire and Vine is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Visit swallowsinsurance.com or call us today, 931-526-4025. Protecting your future. It's what we do.
Welcome back. It's 1-1 between McKenzie and Gordonsville here in the opener of the Class 1A state tournament. We sure are glad you're with us here on a Tuesday night in the spring fling. Gordonsville gets the run back. They almost had a second, but a great throw in from Brown in center. Cooked the runner at home. And The end result, 1-1. Colton Bennett, he struck out 6 straight batters. He faces off against the big boys. 2, 3, 4 due up for the Rebels. Cassidy, Holton, Serber, as they try to get that run back and regain the lead.
Yeah, can you keep this run going that Bennett is on right now? Was able to get it against the leadoff guy in the lineup. Can you continue this here in the meat of the lineup? Because once you get through these top 4, it gets a little bit easier there, 5 through 9.
Cassidy so far in this game, he had a single back in the first inning. He was ultimately left stranded at third. But this is a different Colton Bennett. He has dialed it in. First pitch slider. Called a ball, 1-0.
I would also like to say Gordonsville, once again, not making this feel like a 1A game.
No, they are everywhere. And we're talking about this one's flared out into right field. Should be catchable, and it is. A line out there, no problem in right for Dalton Hancock, and it's 1 up, 1 down. The strikeout streak is over, but it is now 7 straight Rebels retired by the Tigers defense. But all the way around, of course, the side where Gordonsville is at is full of blue, but then down the first base line, it's blue. In the outfield, there's blue. It is everywhere. As that pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, I got here looking for a parking spot, and obviously a game had just got done, so there's people leaving. I'm like, man, there's a lot of cars here right now. And the first game featured a team from far west Tennessee and far east Tennessee.
That one waved at and missed. It's 1-1. Everyone, I'm sure, thanks you as well as I do. Jacob Vincent coming in. He thought he was done for the day. I said, Jacob, I need you, man. And he came over, and here we go.
For this game, it's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. The 1-1. That one. In there for a strike. 1 and 2. Yeah, you didn't get any good games earlier. You got a couple of lopsided ones.
Correct.
So
technical difficulties in the second one.
You
as
earned
well.
this one. Yeah. Well, that was heat-induced.
That and service.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch home. That one. Close, but no cigar. 2-2.
Yeah, now Bennett and the fans obviously feeling like he should be getting some of these calls. Again, we have no idea from over here.
Sure it was outside. Here comes the 2-2 home. Fastball swung on, foul tipped into the mitt, and it is another Birdie's Lounge strikeout, the 7th through 2 2/3 for Colton Bennett on the mound, and it'll bring up Tate Serber. He had an RBI on a walk with the bases loaded and a full count back in the first. He's got nobody on and 2 outs.
This could be kind of an exclamation point right here for Bennett. You were able to work cleanly through the bottom part of the lineup. Now here in the top part, and now taking on the guy on the other side on the mound, and you've tied the game up. And maybe try to put yourself in the driver's seat in this game.
This has been an impressive bounce back for Bennett.
Yeah.
It was looking like they may have to make a change to the first 4 hitters. Since then, he's been clean. This one's rolled over into the hot corner, grabbed it third. Gonna have to make a good throw, and he does for out number 3. Nicely done over at third by Sam Albritton as he goes down in the hot corner and lasers one over to first to retire this side. We'll head to the middle innings. It is still tied at 1 here in the Class 1A state tournament presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
What if opportunity was all in a day's work?
We find new ways to make vacation dreams a reality. And that inspires me to do my best work every single day.
What if you can make a real impact in people's lives with a team that cares?
What I do matters, not just for guests, but for my team. We rely on each other each and every day.
What if your work inspired fun and moved people?
We put the world on vacation. Our job is to make people happy. Inspiring travelers around the world to live their best lives never stops being fulfilling.
At Travel and Leisure, what if can be what is. Stop wondering. Join the travel movement and start a career where memories start with you.
Welcome back as we head to the top of the 4th inning, 1-1, and a really fun high school baseball game happening here to open up the Class 1A state tournament for both these two squads. It's going to be 6, 7, 8. Rivera, Matthews, and Sykes due up here for the Tigers against Tate Serber, who finds himself in a bona fide pitching duel with Colton Bennett on the other side. Now about to play by Sam Albritton to end the 3rd inning.
Yeah, I mean, this Gordonsville team, they've stepped up, and that was after he kind of had one bounce off his glove earlier on. We saw Bennett struggle finding the strike zone, and now they bared down. They've gotten that run to tie this game, and they've gotten to Serber just a little bit and starting to time him up, too, and just about hit him.
Nearly hit Rivera. He's out of the way. Struck out swinging. It's the one strikeout so far for Tate Serber.
Those bases loaded.
It was. It was a big-time strikeout. It was an attack strikeout. The 1-0. That one. Big swing and a miss on that one. 1-1.
I tried to sit back on the breaking ball and just couldn't quite get it timed up.
Rivera, the first baseman for this Tigers squad. Here comes the 1-1. That one bounces in and hit the umpire. 2-1.
I think it hit him right in the middle of the face mask,
Yeah,
which is
it
about
did.
the best place it can.
You don't want to get hit on the top of that.
Or the
face
side.
mask. Right in the middle is you're okay. That's why it's there. Here comes the 2-1. That one misses, and now 3 balls, 1 strike here to Eddie Rivera. Chris Matthews on deck behind. Been a couple of walks issued so far for Serber, trying to avoid number 3. He kicks and deals the 3-1. Ball 4 in the dirt. And Rivera leads it off with a leadoff walk. Very similar to what we saw in the 3rd inning where Foster did that. He came around to score the 1 run so far for the Tigers.
Well, they went to 2 bunts in a row in that situation as well. And the first bunt was a bunt single. It put runners at first and second. We'll see if they do it again.
Here comes Chris Matthews. He lined out to left. Hit it pretty hard, but it was a good job out left to go and get it. Back to lead off the 2nd inning. And a big bounce off for Rivera as he takes his lead. He went aggressively with the side step, still moving around. Serber delivers. That pitch misses for ball 1.
Not showing bunt.
They like the bat of Chris Matthews, certainly.
Yeah, especially here in the middle of the lineup.
Got the old school signs down there checking down the third base coaching box. 1-0 coming. Serber with a long look in. Delivers. That one misses. And the control fleeting just a little bit here in the 4th as it's 2-0. Keep those comments rolling in. Hit that like button, that love button if you haven't already. We welcome you in tonight. We sure are happy to be here. Again, want to thank TSSAA for making it possible for us to be here in video
cool.
tonight.
First time ever.
Simulcasted. How about that? As the 2-0. That one's across right down Main Street. Matthews in take mode, and it's 2-1. And if you're watching on NFHS Network, we welcome you in as well. 2-1. That one swung on. Found out of play. We'll have all the action here from Rockvale. If it features Gordonsville, it'll be simulcast. If it's any other teams, it'll be exclusively on the network. And then we'll turn it over to our friends of the network for Friday. If Gordonsville's in the state championship game, we'll be there with audio coverage from MTSU on Friday. 2-2. Coming in here to Chris Matthews. Serber trying to get a big out. Kicks and deals. Breaking ball. Misses outside, and we run full. 3-2. Big moment here in the ball game. Gordonsville has not led, but they could really threaten if Matthews finds a way to get on.
And I was going to say, after that leadoff walk, it's just a 1-0 game, but that pitch count starting to tick up there a little bit for Serber.
Big swing and a foul tip into the mitt for punch out number 2 for Tate Serber. As he retires Chris Matthews, Brody Sykes now trying to change the tide with a runner at first and 1 out.
That is a huge strikeout. He's had 2 of those now with full count. First time full count, 2 outs and bases loaded. That time able to get it. And instead of putting 2 runners on, you get the first out of the inning. You say, take a deep breath. Okay, we're back in business.
Sykes, he popped out in the infield in his first appearance. Rivera's bouncing all over that base pass. Fastball across at the knees, 0-1.
And we haven't seen a throw down yet to second base, so not exactly sure of the arm behind the plate.
We know what the arm in center field is the 0-1.
Yeah, if that's any
Backs
indication.
him in. It's 1-1. Brody Sykes at the plate, Dalton Hancock behind him, and then looming is Jay Foster in the top of the order. 1-1, 1 out, 1 on. Singles wild now instead of deuces wild. Breaking ball, great pitch, but it falls too low as it crossed into the zone. 2-1.
Yeah, it just broke a little too much. It kind of dipped, like you said, beneath the zone as it came in there. It was a really good one. Started kind of chest high, dropped all the way in.
Everybody's here. Rusty's here now. Whole squad. Here comes the 2-1 into Sykes. Runner takes off. It misses high. Throw down. Good throw, but it is not in time, and he lands on Rivera. Everybody's okay, and it's a domino stolen base for Eddie Rivera.
So the arm pretty good.
Yeah, it was a great throw down. And a good job
to really
jump up and grab it over there. Lane Anderson and him and Rivera landed on top of each other, but runner in scoring position now, and it's a 3-1 count here to Brody Sykes. Base is empty over at first, but again, top of the order is looming here, 2 batters away. Here comes the 3-1. Big swing on this one. Popped up again in the infield. Serber is under it, and he makes the catch for a big out number 2.
Yeah, you mentioned that top of the lineup kind of looming in the hole and on deck, and if you're able to get out of this inning and push that off to the 5th, feel a heck of a lot better. Still a runner in scoring position, though, and you're trying to do something here at the bottom of the lineup to bring him home for that second run.
Dalton Hancock, second AB here. He ripped one, but it was right to Serber, who fielded it and flipped over to first in his first AB. First pitch misses up to him for a ball 1-0. Rivera, he's standing at second.
That wind has picked up pretty good coming in from center field as well. Kind of blocked off a little bit from the trees.
1-0. That one misses up and in, and it's 2-0 now.
But you look at the flag, it's behind the McKenzie dugout, and it's gusting pretty good. And you can actually see some of the dirt blowing through the infield when it gets kicked up.
2-0. Fastball. Waved at and missed. 2-1. A little bit late on that one. Now, Serber looking to rally back into it. A 2-1 pitch coming here to Hancock. This one fouled back, and it's 2-2. Now it is Deuces Wild. 2-2, 2 outs, runner on. A 1-1 game. Big moments here. You win, you're in so much of a better position. You're guaranteed to not have to have your back against the wall early tomorrow at 10 a.m. The 2-2. Breaking ball. Called. Strike 3 for the punch out. And that is a big punch out for Tate Serber as it retires the side. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th. This is the Class 1A state tournament presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Frontier Chevrolet is ready to get you into your next vehicle and are proud to offer a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly all vehicles below 80,000 miles. View inventory online at www.caseychevy.com, including the brand new Chevy Trax and Traverse, or stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway today. Remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Delicious Pan Pizza is Domino's best-kept secret. With locations in Smithville, Sparta, Livingston, Allgood, and 2 in Cookeville, Delicious Pan and hand-tossed pizza, pasta, and more is never far away. Use the Domino's app to take care of your game day eats today. Domino's is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student-athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They're also proud to sponsor the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back. I'm Noah McKay, joined by the geographically challenged Jacob Vincent. Into the bottom of the 4th inning, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. 5, 6, 7 due up here for the McKenzie Rebels. They scored 1 in the bottom half of the first. Since then, nobody has reached against Colton Bennett. He has been sensational on the mound for the Tigers. But Tate Serber's been pretty good on the other end as well. And we've got ourselves a pitching duel. Cole Brown, he is the play of the game so far, throwing out a runner that would have been the go-ahead run in from center. He fouls one back. It's 0-1.
If there's one thing I excelled in school, it was talking. Go figure.
Yes.
And geography.
Well, you failed it in your professional life. As the 0-1 breaking ball. My favorite part is Jacob Vincent's from Indiana. I am from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. My entire family lives in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. As the 1-1 is fouled back, 1-2.
You can blame Apple Maps on that.
And the sheer gall to tell me that I'm wrong on roads that I've driven since I was driven since I was a small child is astounding.
Where I had to go.
The confidence was impressive.
I had to go out of my way.
The 1-2 breaking ball, another one. The 8th Birdie's Lounge punch out of the game for Colton Bennett on the mound. It's been the fastball, the changeup, and the slider. That time the slider gets him.
Yeah, Bennett hasn't been going out of his way. He's been attacking these batters and getting a lot of punch outs, and he is really, really doing a good job.
Professional transition right there, Jacob. Now Gage Crosland, he struck out. He was the second strikeout victim back in the first inning. It was an RBI walk for Tate Serber in the first. Since then, everybody has been retired as this one's fouled back.
This is interesting. You've got coach for Gordonsville yelling out to the right fielder saying, hey, watch out for the flare here. I'm wondering if they're trying to attack that outside part of the plate.
11 straight. Working on the 11th straight batter retired. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2.
I mentioned he's trying to do his best. Kaylee Plumley, who was in attendance at least at one point in this game, and he's doing a pretty good job of it right now.
And 0-2 coming here to Crosland. He's trying to put it in play. Bennett. This one's fouled back. We'll do it again. There's been two balls put in play. Everything else has been a punch out. A line out to right field and a ground out to third. It was a hard hit ground out to Al Britton, but other than that, it's been 8 strikeouts.
And ever since that first inning, he hadn't had even that many 2-ball counts, let alone 3-ball counts. He had a lot of 3-ball counts in that first inning.
He has had 2-ball counts in the last 3 innings.
Wow, it's impressive, especially after the start that he had, just struggling to find the zone a little.
Here comes the 0-2 in. Fastball, this one's sent way up into the air. It's in foul territory, but it is in the field of play. Ranging back is Rivera, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, that's a really good job by coach as well. Pleading for his defense to kind of shift that way, and it actually works out. That time into foul territory, and Riviera able to move over from first base to get it in time.
Coach Travis Humes has done a really nice job with this Tiger squad. He has him back here in the state tournament. As Leland Gordon stands in, he was the 3rd strikeout victim back in the first inning, trying to solve Colton Bennett. First pitch in there for strike 1.
He's just throwing downhill. He's hitting his spots, moving it around. And you mentioned 3 different pitches he's been able to use.
Here comes the 0-1. Fastball misses low. He's trying to go that same spot he just hit with the changeup. Now it's 1-1. So Gordon is the 7-hole hitter. He's trying to become the first base runner since the first inning for the McKenzie Rebels. We've got ourselves a pitching duel. Fastball misses up and out, 2-1. First real bad miss we've seen out of Colton Bennett in a couple of innings.
It feels very much like the Gordonsville softball game against South Pitt just the other day.
Here comes the 2-1. That one misses low and inside, and now Gordon probably going to be in take mode. 3 balls and 1 strike. Craig and Travis is on deck next. There were 3 walks, all back within the first 4 batters of the game. Since then, nobody's even had a 3-ball count. This is the first one. Here comes the 3-1. This one's fouled off, and we run full 3-2. Interesting there that Gordon would be in swing mode despite the 3-1 count.
He's been attacking the zone ever since, so got to expect him to get back into it.
With 2 outs, here's the 3-2 payoff pitch from Colton Bennett. Swung on, let's do it again.
It's also tough. If you see anything close, you got to strike on. You feel like you almost have to swing at it unless you're given the take sign in that moment.
So 3-2. Once again coming home. Called strike 3. Fastball on the inside corner, and it is the 9th Birdie's Lounge strikeout for Colton Bennett. This one comes with a full count. We'll head to the 5th, still tied at 1. This is the Class 1A state tournament presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential and multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. From the sports field to the hunting field, our friends at Hall Sports and Outdoors can outfit anyone. Located in the heart of Jamestown at 207 South Main Street, Hall Sports and Outdoors carries everything from kayaks, fishing gear, and camo to guns and ammo. With top brands such as Columbia, Timberland, Under Armour, Asics, and much more, nobody can top their selection. Need some custom gear for your team? They also offer uniforms, gear, and custom embroidery. Stop by and see them at 207 South Main Street in Jamestown. Hall Sports and Outdoors, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back as we head into the next inning of this ball game, the top of the 5th. 1-2-3 to Jay Foster, Kyle Adams, Tucker Smith.
Sorry.
It's been a long day.
Sorry.
It has been a long day.
Oh, I feel you. I really do.
Jay Foster, due up first here. Big moment here, and we heard from Coach Humes in the between innings there. Said this is the time.
Yep,
this is the moment right here with the top of the order due up against Tate Serber, who's been very good in his own right despite Colton Bennett stealing the headlines. First pitch breaking ball is in there for strike one.
Yeah, and Serber, again, he's only allowed the one run so far, but the big thing is he's been getting behind in these batters. He's walked a few batters in the last couple of innings. Leadoff batter's been able to get aboard, and we'll see if Foster's able to do it again as he does miss high.
Foster wanted to swing at it, laid off, and it's 1-1. Foster Adam Smith coming up here, trying to solve Tate Serber.
Sounds like a full name.
It does. Here comes the 1-1 breaking ball, and it's been his best pitch here in the past couple of innings. 1-2. And there's been 3 hits for Gordonsville, 5 runners left on the base paths, a couple of walks mixed in as well. And now time going to be called by Foster on the other end. Just 1 hit for McKenzie. Came back in that first inning. 3 runners left on base when they had the bases loaded. Since then, nobody has reached. Going on 4 innings of nothing. Here comes the 1-2 to Foster. Fastball, that one misses low and outside. 2-2.
3-1.
2-2.
Okay, I missed something.
Here comes the pitch in from Serber. He rocks back. Big leg kick. That one misses, and now it's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jay Foster. Trying to become the 4th walk victim of the game. Issue to Serber. Here comes the 3-2. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Big pitch fired in from Tate Serber for the first out of the 5th inning.
Yeah, it seems like he gets to 3-2. And has he walked a batter at a 3-2 count yet? I think he's gotten a strikeout each time he's been to that 3-2 count. Maybe just one guy that he's walked. The guys that he has walked, he's been getting behind, and now visit. I wonder what that pitch count is at, and like you said, maybe waiting to see and use them for a Thursday or Friday game.
It's been all 3-1 counts where the walks have come, no full count. So he's been able to batten down the hatches there. Clutch player, and we will check the pitch count. Yeah, it's sitting right around 75. And there is going to be a move here as he's at 73 pitches, so that keeps him under the 3 days rest mark. So McKenzie's hoping to go on a run, and if they do, they would have their number 1 available in a state championship game, but there's a long way to go until then, and Gordonsville is going to face a new pitcher when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Clint Connor is your local auctions expert. With full service from start to finish, the Exit Crossroads Auction Group are here to make the process easy for you. Visit crossroadsauctiongroup.com for more details and current auctions. Clint Connor, your local auctions expert, is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Fire and Vine in Cookeville is the Upper Cumberland's home for delicious Chicago-style pizza, beef, chicken, fish, and more. Located in Cookeville's historic downtown district, Fire and Vine's food and atmosphere will keep you coming back for more. Take in stunning views with creative food and drinks on the rooftop. Fire and Vine is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back. The chess match is on, and Coach Chris Wall for the McKenzie Rebels takes out his number 1 pitcher at 74 pitches to keep him available one more time later on in this tournament, but they got to make it there first. Tate Serber's day is done. Next time he could pitch would be on Friday in a state championship game, and now they're going to give the ball to the former shortstop as the first pitch in is a called strike 1. It's going to go to Lane Anderson. He moves away from short onto the mound, and he goes ahead 0-1 of Kyle Adams. And it's a 1-for-1 swap. Tate Serber goes over to short.
Makes it easy.
Yes, it does. Here comes the 0-1. Back-to-back breaking balls. That one misses 1-1. And that's a bold decision. It's one that you got to calculate the risks versus rewards. And if you win this game, it looks like a pretty decent one. If you don't, though, you're not going to have him back in time to save your season because you're going to be in elimination games from here on out if you lose this game.
Well, the other thing, too, you're also facing this top part of the lineup for the Tigers. You get the leadoff guy out, and so now you bring in a different pitcher. It's going to take you a little bit to try to time him up.
2-1. This one swung on, fouled back here by Kyle Adams. 2-2. Tucker Smith behind him.
And as a coach, you feel like you know some of the tendencies of the batters. You've faced them twice already, so you can still call the pitches in a good way against them.
2-2 coming here for Kyle Adams. Lane Anderson Has a nice compact movement. He fires in the slider, swung on and missed. And the first batter he faces, he strikes him out. That was a good AB for Anderson.
Yeah, so far that move looks pretty good when Anderson comes in, able to strike out that first batter. And now for the Tigers, going to see if they can work a little two-out magic again.
Tucker Smith, he reached on an error in the first, had a sacrifice bunt in the third. And now, first appearance obviously against Anderson, the right-handed pitcher. Here for McKenzie, came in after 74 pitches for Tate Serber of one-run baseball. First pitch inside, called strike one, 0-1. So far, good mix of pitches. He's mixed up the fastball with the slider. Here comes the 0-1. That one misses low. Winner of this game gets University School out of Johnson City tomorrow at 12:30. The loser will have to save their season against Halls at 10 a.m. 1-1. There's that slider, and it drops in there for strike two.
Yeah, and if you win that one, could be a long day. You'd be playing again at 5:30.
You win that first game, you face the loser of that second game at 5:30, and then another elimination game. The 1-2. Another slider. The time didn't quite fall back into the zone. 2-2.
And then if you win this and you win the first game tomorrow, you feel really good about going to Thursday.
You have two chances on Thursday to advance to the state championship game. The first two, that gives you a big backstop to play with. And you also get those two games as that one bounces in to make it 3-2 against somebody who's going to have to have played at least 3 games and potentially 4.
Yeah, pitchers probably.
Exactly right. Here comes the 3-2 payoff pitch home. Here to Tucker Smith. Anderson delivers. Slider misses. Ball 4. Anderson thought he was going to get it. Puts his hands on his hips. And with 2 outs, Smith heads down to first, and Sam Albritton's 2 for 2 with 2 singles and an RBI, climbing back in.
Yeah, you can see the catcher. He lined up outside. He got to reach out, and then tried to bring it back in on the frame just a little bit. It's a pretty good pitch just outside.
Both singles have been right into center field. Throw over to first, and we really didn't see Serber go to first at all. Anderson shows that he is. Fires over immediately.
Don't think he did.
There was 1 stolen base so far. That one, Albritton goes up and after it. Center fielder arranging under it, and he makes the catch. Went up eye level to try and grab that one. No problem there in center for Cole Brown, and that retires the side. We head to the bottom of the 5th, still tied up at 1 here in the Class 1A state tournament, presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Visit swallowsinsurance.com or call us today, 931-526-4025. Protecting your future, it's what we do.
Frontier Chevrolet is ready to get you into your next vehicle and are proud to offer a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly all vehicles below 80,000 miles. View inventory online at www.caseychevy.com, including the brand new Chevy Trax and Traverse, or stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway today. Remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye.
Heading to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Rockville. It is 1-1 still. McKenzie scored 1 run back in the first. Since then, no base runners for the Rebels. They're looking to change it, but it's still Colton Bennett on the mound, facing off against 8-9-1. Travis, Anderson, and Garrett due up here for the Rebels, trying to break the tie.
Well, it sounded like your first game was a pretty fun one. This one has been really fun as well. Kind of cruising along here into this 5th inning, and just the 1-run game. And Bennett, like you said, has been cruising, been able to get ahead of batters, and continues that trend here.
2 completely different ball games. The first one, hits everywhere, some errors mixed in, a lot of runs scored, 8-4. This one, defensive battle throughout, zipping along. That game took over 2.5 hours. This one, we're just over an hour into it, and we're already in the bottom of the 5th. That one swung on and missed, and it's quickly 0-2.
Means it'll last about 2.5 hours now that we brought it up.
Well, it is tied.
Yeah, it might not be regulation, might get done pretty quickly, but extras.
0-2. Called strike 3 on the fastball. The 10th Birdie's Lounge strikeout for Colton Bennett so far through just 4 1/3 innings.
Obviously, we see Plumlee do this a lot on the softball diamond, and it's not impressive there. But when you come out here on the baseball diamond, especially the start that he had, anytime you get 10 in a game is really, really good. He's got 10 in the 5th inning.
Now trying to help his own cause is Lane Anderson, but pummeling the strike zone is Colton Bennett. He's ahead 0-1 again. Just been able to keep the hitters completely off balance with his pitch mix so far. The 0-1 slider way out in front. It's 0-2. And it's a carousel right now. You come up to the batter's box and you head back in. Trying to turn it around is Anderson, and then it's the top of the order, and that's McKenzie's chance with Hayden Garrett and company.
And it's 3 or 4 pitches, and you said it, you're right back to the dugout.
Here comes the 0-2 home. Slider again. Cold strike 3. Got the batter turning around 180 degrees as it dove back into the zone for the 11th Birdie's Lounge strikeout of the game.
Yeah, that's dirty right there. And, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't sit there and watch pitches because he's attacking the zone so well. He gets ahead on you, and then he throws that one where it looks like it's going to hit you, and it breaks back in for a strike.
Hayden Garrett so far 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. First pitch was close, but it missed. 1-0. 11 strikeouts for Colton Bennett on the mound. Just a sophomore left-hander. And this one's ripped over. Rivera, though, flashes the leather, and that is a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Gordonsville Tigers defense. We blaze into the 6th, still tied up at 1. This is the Class 1A state tournament presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
What if opportunity was all in a day's work?
We find new ways to make vacation dreams a reality. And that inspires me to do my best work every single day.
What if you can make a real impact in people's lives with a team that cares?
What I do matters, not just for guests, but for my team. We rely on each other each and every day.
What if your work inspired fun and moved people?
We put the world on vacation. Our job is to make people happy. Inspiring travelers around the world to live their best lives never stops being fulfilling.
At Travel and Leisure, what if can be what is. Stop wondering. Join the travel movement and start a career where memories start with you.
Welcome back as we zip through this game here in the nightcap at Rockville High School. It is still 1-1 in a defensive war, and it is 5-6-7 due up for the Tigers. Tristan Wood, Eddie Rivera, and Chris Matthews due up here. And it is Lane Anderson once again here, came in relief and got the fly out after getting a strikeout as well. He checked in with 1 out, and this one's rolled over. Shortstop there, and the throw down is offline, and it's an error. And now taking off towards second in the big foul territory here is Tristan Wood. He capitalizes on the error, the second of the game for McKenzie, and the Tigers have a runner in scoring position with nobody out in the 6th.
Well, we've talked about it all game long, how much foul territory there is. It is the biggest ballpark that I think we have been to so far this season, and we do a lot of games in Baxter. We talk about how much foul territory there is here. There is there, and there was probably, I don't know, twice as much, but maybe a time and a half more here in Rockville, and it's finally rears its ugly head, and Gordonsville able to take advantage.
Eddie Rivera climbs in. He has walked and struck out so far today. First appearance against Lane Anderson. It's a hard-hit grounder, but the throw was low and offline. First pitch swinging for Rivera. Foul tips it back, 0-1.
He was trying to send that for the light pole out there in right field.
He swings for the fences at all times.
Listen, you're lefty. You wear the number 30.
Got to.
You have to. Ken Griffey Jr.
Righty against the lefty. Here comes the 0-1. Rivera had a nice play to end that last inning. Now he shows bunt. Just as we say, he swings for the fences. Offered at that one, and it's 0-2.
Man, I like that, though, because nobody is expecting that. The first baseman was sprinting in as soon as he saw the turn, and now you're going to have time called.
Time called. Coach and him going to have a conversation here. 0-2 the count. Don't forget, more coverage coming to UpperCumberlandReporter.com later on tonight all presented by Gentry's Power Equipment in Cookeville. We've got photos from tennis this morning, track and field all day. Reese Beatty's won another state championship in the discus, walking away just by a mile. She won it today.
So she goes and picks up
82
multiple
Power 5 offers.
Division I offers, Power 5 offers over the weekend, and then goes and wins the state title.
Yes, indeed. Strong weekend for Reese Beatty. The 0-2, this one ripped by Rivera, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Brown to it in center, and the stop sign is on. And now bouncing way off. Nobody holding him to first, so Rivera can take his time going back down to first. They respect the arm of Cole Brown after he threw out somebody earlier, but Gordonsville in business. Runners at the corners with nobody out on the hard hit single by Eddie Rivera.
Well, whatever Coach Hume said there was perfect. He roped that one out to center field. He was behind in the count 0-2. He got a pitch he was able to handle, and a good decision there, like you said. You already saw a really good throw come in from center field. You hold the runner at third and allow your batters an opportunity to score possibly that go-ahead run here in the sixth.
It's late in this ball game. It's been going quickly, but we are in the sixth.
And you're also guaranteeing the top of your lineup is going to come up no matter what here in the sixth or the seventh.
And Matthews shows bunt. He pops it up and out of play. The rare bunt that gets over the net and out of here, although it's not the tallest net in the world.
Well, it's so far back there, and it is very short. It's not holding anything, to say the least.
Well, it'll hold in more than the Signal Mountain net did, where we almost got taken out last week.
And that was a taller one.
It was.
And we were right there.
Matthews stands in. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a line out. Throw over to first. Rivera, he's very active on the base paths. He dives back in plenty of time. Now the pressure is on the mound as Lane Anderson trying to get out of this major league jam. Matthews shows bunt again, pulls back. This one gets away. Huge bounce. Throw to home. Tag down in time. My goodness. It took a huge hop off the backstop, and sliding in was Cassidy. He throws to Anderson, who slaps the tag down on wood, and the umpire said it's in time.
Yeah, that's one heck of a job by McKenzie, and you said it. It's a massive backstop, and there's padding back there, and it kind of catapulted off of there all the way back. Smart running, though, by Rivera. Rivera.
Yes.
He moves into scoring position, Riviera. Must have golf on my mind.
Chris Matthews now stands in. That's a couple of plays. 2 runners been thrown out at home in this game for Gordonsville. And now the equation changes with a 1-1 count. There's a slider that brings it inside for a strike, and it's 1-2. That completely changes the inning for McKenzie.
Still just the one out, though. You got a runner in scoring position.
A 1-2 coming here. Slider dips away, 2-2.
And how about the job by this McKenzie team? You talk about defensive runs saved. Well, they took 2 off the board here from the Tigers, who really could be up 3-1.
In a game like this, how large are those potential runs taken away by the Rebels defense? Here comes the 2-2 slider. Cold strike 3 for out number 2. Anderson thought it was the third, but it's the second. And Sykes will stride in. We saw a slider turn around a Rebel 180 degrees. That one was about 45 degrees turned in. And a really good one for the second punch out.
And now an opportunity here for Sykes, who steps in with the 2 outs. A hit to the outfield. If it's not to center field, it might score the run.
Sykes so far today, he's popped out a couple of times, both in the infield, as that one misses for ball 1. A couple of pivotal defensive plays by McKenzie have kept this game tied. And it's given their pitcher, Lane Anderson, new life. 1-0, that one misses inside, ball 2. And there's some nervous anticipation. A lot of Gordonsville fans in here watching in silence. Here comes the 2-0. This one flared over. Second baseman to it. He bobbles it. Throw to first will not happen. And everybody's safe. Runners at the corners now for the 9-hole hitter, Dalton Hancock.
Well, you might be in this 9-hole, but you can still swing the bat, and that's exactly why you're going up to the plate. You've got a really big opportunity here, and again, you're going to get the top of the lineup coming up at some point in this game. You would love to have it here in this inning because that means probably a run or 2 has come across, and now you're going to have a visit on the mound as well because McKenzie also realizes how big this is, and they're going to make a change.
And I'll tell you exactly what's happening here. Lane Anderson's at 24 pitches. He is available tomorrow as they will take him out and make another pitching change. The chess match is on, and Chris Wall, in their third straight appearance, understands the importance of having arms available. He makes another move with runners at the corners and 2 outs. New pitcher for the Rebels when we come back.
Frontier Chevrolet is ready to get you into your next vehicle and are proud to offer a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly all vehicles below 80,000 miles. View inventory online at www.caseyschevy.com, including the brand new Chevy Trax and Traverse, or stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway today. Remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Delicious Pan Pizza is Domino's best-kept secret. With locations in Smithville, Sparta, Livingston, Allgood, and 2 in Cookeville, Delicious Pan and hand-tossed pizza, pasta, and more is never far away. Use the Domino's app to take care of your game day eats today. Domino's is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student-athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They're also proud to sponsor the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. From the sports field to the hunting field, our friends at Hall Sports and Outdoors can outfit anyone. Located in the heart of Jamestown at 207 South Main Street, Hall Sports and Outdoors carries everything from kayaks, fishing gear, and camo to guns and ammo. With top brands such as Columbia, Timberland, Under Armour, Asics, and much more, nobody can top their selection. Need some custom gear for your team? They also offer uniforms, gear, and custom embroidery. Stop by and see them at 207 South Main Street in Jamestown. Hall Sports and Outdoors, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back. A pivotal moment here in this Class Single A State Tournament opening round. There's another new pitcher checking in as Jake Cassidy will come in, and we've seen McKenzie thread the needle. Coach Wall keeping a close eye on the pitch count. It was 74 for the starter Tate Serber, and then 24 for Lane Anderson. He's available tomorrow. Does not have to rest a day under the NFHS rules, so they bring him out there. And now, who was behind the dish, Jake Cassidy, now becomes the man throwing the balls and strikes, and he steps in with runners at the corners and 2 outs. A costly error extends the inning. A familiar refrain in this game. McKenzie, they had a couple of amazing plays in the field, but a couple of errors on the other side, as it's been an ebb and flow kind of ball game.
And you're playing with fire when that's happening, because you can only muster so many of those errors where you're still able to make enough plays to not allow those runs across, where they have gone down 2 runs at home. They get a great bounce on a pass ball where this is a massive backstop. I mean, we'll turn it over here. You can see how big it goes all the way back to that blue padding right there. And that is where it hit off of and bounced back. And it got a massive bounce all the way back towards home plate to take that run away from the Tigers.
So with Cassidy going to the mound, Fletcher Holt goes behind the plate. He was at third, and he does not have a lot of gear on. He's going with the minimalist protection behind the plate. Cassidy, the right-handed pitcher, he's facing off against the 9-hole hitter Dalton Hancock with runners at the corners and 2 outs. First pitch misses low and outside, ball 1, and the dangerous Jay Foster just to our left here in the on-deck circle.
Well, that one, again, you got a new catcher coming in there. This is a very tough place to be just thrown in the 6th inning of a ball game.
1-0 coming here. A glance back. Now the pitch. Again, misses away, and Holt able to keep him in front a couple of times. 2-0. You do have 1 empty base out there, but again, the top of the order is coming up next. Holt gives the sign. Cassidy delivers in the 2-0. Caught a strike, 2-1.
Got to be tough with LED headlights out there rolling through in center field when you're trying to catch a pitch coming in as well.
It's true. The road right behind home plate, or right behind center field. You're looking right at it from home plate, yeah. I should say. 2-1 here. Coming to Hancock. That one misses. 3 balls and 1 strike. The bases would be loaded with a walk here. Both teams have had the bases loaded at times. 1 run apiece out of those situations. 3-1. Cassidy, this one rolled over. Second baseman with more work. Fields the throw to first. Is in time, and that retires the side. Another job done by the McKenzie Rebels defense leaves us tied up at 1. We'll head to the bottom half. You're watching the Class Single A State Tournament presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential and multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Clint Connor is your local auctions expert. With full service from start to finish, the Exit Crossroads Auction Group are here to make the process easy for you. Visit crossroadsauctiongroup.com for more details and current auctions. Clint Connor, your local auctions expert, is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back as we head to the bottom of the 6th, still tied up at 1, and this one may be a race to 2, and it is 2, 3, 4 due up for the Rebels. We mentioned this earlier with Gordonsville. We'll actually say it in the top half as well, where they'll have 1, 2, 3 coming up. If you're going to get that run, these are the bats you would have up. If you're Coach Wall, he gets them with Cassidy, Holt, and Serber due up in this half.
Yeah, and these are the top of the lineups. I mean, we talked about how good this game is. 1-to-1 game, but Bennett, he's been so solid on the mound, and this is his game.
First pitch, that one dips a little bit low, 1-0. Yeah, after the first 4 reached base. Since then, nobody has for the McKenzie Rebels. Here comes the 1-0. Fastball right there for a strike.
And that's the thing. You're getting a lot of those type of swings where it looks like it is close, and it's close enough that you probably should swing at it, but it's right on the edge where you think you might be able to get away with the ball.
Here comes the 1-1. Slider again, weakly rolled. It is 15 straight retired for Colton Bennett on the mound.
Jeez. It's an impressive number.
And a 1-1 ball game. McKenzie's defense has been a little up and down, but the ups have been way up, and they've caught 2 runners trying to get home in 2 different ways.
Only 1 hit. And it was off the glove. Just a hard-hit grounder back in that first inning.
Here comes the 1-2. This one's rolled over. He tries to flash to Leather. Speaking of 1 hit, make it 2. A leadoff single for Jake Cassidy. The first batter in the last 16 to reach for McKenzie, but it's in a big spot as he sets the table for Fletcher Holt.
Yeah, right back up the middle. Good piece of hitting there, and you said it. Here with this top part of the lineup, you're trying to make something happen and trying to get some hits out there, and that's exactly what they're doing now. And now, being 3rd, 4th time through, you're able to time him up maybe a little bit better.
Holt, he did walk back in the first. He was the 7th strikeout victim in the 3rd. Attempt number 3 against Colton Bennett, the left-handed sophomore. Infield in, protecting a potential bunt as the throw goes to first. You see Al Britton crashing down that line over at 3rd. It is a 3-hole hitter, though, so he's got some pop in that bat. But the small ball, very much a factor. You're just trying to get 1.
Especially in a 1-to-1 game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And being the home team, you feel like you'd have the advantage.
And now another throw over. And we saw in the last inning, runners get on, 2 errors in the field committed by McKenzie, but they caught a runner trying to go home, and then a pitching change, and Cassidy came in and got a pivotal out to get out of the inning. Now bunt shown again. That pitch misses up, 1-0.
Yeah, and defensively for Gordonsville, obviously haven't been tested a ton with everything just been strikeouts for the most part in the last 15 batters, but they've been really solid for the most part. It was just that one hard-hit ground ball that ended up being a hit on the left side of the infield.
Of those 15 outs, 11 were strikeouts. And now the umpire again is telling the McKenzie batters to get into the box. And they is not obliging. Now he leans over, and Holt does put that front foot in. He shows bunt. Here comes the 1-0. Another throw over. The chess match is on.
Yeah. You mentioned that tension. It's kind of that quiet nervousness.
The only noise is coming out of the McKenzie dugout right now.
And there's a ton of people here.
1-0 bunt, pretty good one. Bennett comes up to grab. Throw down to first is in time. Throw behind the runner. Now he's in a bit of a rundown. Throw down to 3rd. It is a full-on rundown. Chasing back to 2nd. The throw is there, and he is out. The Gordonsville Tigers defense, 8 different Tigers all surrounding the two bags, and the bunt attempt backfires on a double play.
Yeah, just got a great throw to first. The runner around second takes too big of a lead. Great snap throw to second base as well to throw behind the runner. And then you said it, everybody converged on second and third base, getting into their spots. Perfectly run play and able to get that second out of the inning. And now you feel really good with this guy coming to the plate.
I don't know if I've ever seen that many players in one area on a baseball field. They were
He
all
only needed
there.
2 throws.
But now Tate Serber, who can break the tie with one swing of the bat, stands in. Nobody out. First pitch slider in there for strike one. That changes the complexion of an inning. We saw that happen in the top half for McKenzie when they got a big defensive play. Now Gordonsville does.
Yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't throw that slider 3 times in a row.
0-1. He went back to it. That time falls off the table. 1-1. What a ball game this has been. Everything you can want out of a state tournament game. 1-1. There's that slider. Caught the zone. 1-2. Serber. Can't believe it. Looked like it broke back towards the plate. Of course, we can't see inside out, but
I'm throwing this one on the outside, trying to hit that backdoor slider. If it catches the plate, great. If it doesn't, maybe he swings at it.
Colton Bennett for number 12. Got it. In the dirt. Throw down to first. Is in time. Low and not in time. He legs it out. A low throw. Took some time to make the throw, Matthews, and it bounced into Rivera. So now, on the drop third strike, it is the 12th Birdies Lounge strikeout, but a runner at first for McKenzie.
Yeah, and that's one of those where he's trying to take his time, but you still have to make a good throw and just kind of short-armed it over there to first base. And now you've got a runner on first, and still you're in that middle part of your lineup. You got to get a good at-bat and a good couple of pitches here from Bennett. And how we talked about how good the defense has been, that is the first time that we've kind of seen a little short in the armor.
First pitch, this one's grounded foul by Cole Brown. Has the play of the day in the outfield, but he struck out twice so far. It is the 12th Birdies Lounge strikeout of the game for Colton Bennett on the mound. We've seen the two different approaches. This is Colton Bennett's game. There's not the carousel that we've seen trying to keep guys under 75 and then under 25 pitches. Two different ways of going about it. Throw over to first. Keeping him honest. Brown, one swing of the bat, can send the McKenzie fans that are here into a frenzy. Here comes the 0-1. That one pops the leather. 1-1. That was one of the hardest throws of the game so far for Bennett out there here late in the 6th. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball misses up. 2-1. That is new life for McKenzie on the drop third strike. Rivera comes out and just has a quick word of encouragement to his pitcher. Maybe something that he's seeing as well with that runner over at first, Serber. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball, or maybe that was the changeup actually, and it's waved at and missed 2-2. He was thinking fastball and pumped the brakes.
That was a big swing and just swings right through it. Now 2-2 and looking for your best pitch of the game.
Runner at first. 2-2 count with 2 outs. Bennett delivers. Runner goes. And he'll have to come back as this one's fouled off on the slider. Good crowd tuning in online. We welcome you in. Whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube tonight, we're sure glad you're with us. These two teams are putting on the show for you. They are. 2-2 again. Bennett's going to step off and reset. 12 strikeouts for Colton Bennett. One single. That's just the second hit of the game. And then the drop third strike has put Serber at first. 2-2, Bennett. Kicks and deals, slider. This one's hit hard, and it is a foul ball. Immediately called out by the home plate umpire, foul ball down that third base line. McKenzie was looking at a run, and instead we will do it again.
Yeah, the coach over there in the third base coach's box immediately signaling, sending the runner as it was as soon as that ball got past, and just foul and not by much.
It was one of those hands on the knees, not an objection to the call, but really hoping that he would have missed it. He did not behind the plate. It's 2-2. We'll do it one more time. Bennett delivers. Fastball. Swung on and missed. The 13th Birdies Lounge strikeout of the game for the sophomore Colton Bennett. And we will head to the 7th all tied up at 1. Coverage of the Class Single A State Tournament is presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They're also proud to sponsor the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. From the sports field to the hunting field, our friends at Hall Sports and Outdoors can outfit anyone. Located in the heart of Jamestown at 207 South Main Street, Hall Sports and Outdoors carries everything from kayaks, fishing gear, and camo to guns and ammo. With top brands such as Columbia, Timberland, Under Armour, Asics, and much more, nobody can top their selection. Need some custom gear for your team? They also offer uniforms, gear, and custom embroidery. Stop by and see them at 207 South Main Street in Jamestown. Hall Sports and Outdoors, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
The sophomore left-handed pitcher for the Gordonsville Tigers, Colton Bennett. 100 pitches, 13 strikeouts in the game, 1 run allowed, and it was all the way back in the first inning. But the platoon of pitchers for the McKenzie Rebels, and of course the McKenzie defense, which has committed a couple of errors. They made a couple of big-time plays, including catching 2 runners, trying to leg it out to home. And as a result, we are tied up at 1 with 1 set inning still to go. It is 1-2-3, 2 up for the Tigers. Jay Foster will lead them off. Back to work here is Jake Cassidy on the mound.
Well, this is exactly who you want at the plate. If you're Gordonsville, you want at the top of your lineup the guys that you have the most confidence in.
First pitch swinging for Foster, and that's going to get down for a base hit. He ambushes the first pitch of the 7th for a leadoff single, and a potential go-ahead run is on the base pass for the Tigers.
That's a really good job of the left fielder as well. Was able to get over there and cut it off and not allow the speedy Foster to leg that into a double to start off the inning. So at least saves a bag, but you do have the leadoff base runner aboard.
First pitch swinging, and Jay Foster has his first hit of the game. He's now 1 for 3 today. He does have the 1 run scored after a walk back in the 3rd. Kyle Adams, he's 1 for 2 today, or 1 for 3 rather, I should say, with a bunt single, strikeout, and a ground out. He watches ball 1. And with the way Colton Bennett is throwing, he's at 100 pitches, got a maximum of 25 left. He has a maximum of 20 left. Thank you very much. You could have just said that. Now another bunt here. This one up the middle. Cassidy fields cleanly. Throws to first in time. Small ball certainly on display tonight as Kyle Adams sacrifice a bunt. Moves Jay Foster into scoring position for Tucker Smith.
Yeah, and we've seen that small ball work, and he likes to do it here at this top part of the lineup because then you put runners in scoring position for your 3rd and 4th guys in the lineup. And so a really, really big opportunity here with a hit to the outfield to possibly plate that go-ahead run. But we've seen these outfielders, they've got some arms, especially in center.
Tucker Smith climbs into the batter's box here with a runner at second. Cassidy trying to work through the trouble again. 8 Tigers have been left on the base paths in this game. That was their 4th base hit earlier in this inning. First pitch swinging here. He sends it foul out of play, 0-1.
That's what 2 of them getting thrown out at home.
Yeah, good point. Tucker Smith at the plate. Sam Albritton on deck next. He has a couple of hits today. Slide step. This one's sent over, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Left fielder just now to it. Jay Foster's heading home. Throw in from left will not come, and it's an RBI double for Tucker Smith. And the Gordonsville Tigers have taken their first lead of the game in the top of the 7th inning.
It felt like they were so close to that right there, finally getting that big hit. They trade places at second base, and it's not done. There's only 1 out. You've got another runner in scoring position, and now one of your best hitters, if not your best hitter, at the plate.
And the Gordonsville Tigers are now looking for insurance here in the top of the 7th. They've flirted with it over and over again. They've finally broken through, and it's 2-1. And out there on the mound, Cassidy trying to lock in, batten down the hatches, and get 2 outs, but a runner at second in the form of Tucker Smith and Sam Albritton. 2 for 3, 2 singles, an RBI, and a flyout so far. Everything's been to center. First pitch swinging. It eats up the second baseman a little bit. The throw to first is in time. for out number 2. The runner does advance over 90 feet. Tucker Smith now at third for Tristan Wood.
Yeah, so productive out. Nice play by the second baseman as well. Like you said, ate him up just a little bit, but able to make a quick throw, and still a good opportunity to now possibly get an insurance run across.
Hayden Garrett makes the play over there at second, and now Tristan Wood trying to become another RBI for Gordonsville. If he can put it in play. Cassidy trying to limit the damage. First pitch bounces in. A good job behind the dish for ball 1.
Yeah, that was a pick as well. It wasn't even a block.
The Tigers lead 2-1 here in the state tournament opening round matchup. The 1-0 bounces in, and it's 2-0. Another really nice block. Holt started at third. He's now behind the dish, and he has been a brick wall so far.
Well, you got to be a good blocker there at the hot corner. Sometimes you're just knocking those down, and he's doing it right now behind the plate.
2-0. That one bounces in, and it gets away, but not far enough. And a smart base running over there by Smith. And again, Holt got enough of it to just prevent it from getting all the way back, and now it's 3-0.
Yeah, just to slow it down enough, and these battery mates have been really, really good at realizing when it gets past and getting there quick enough, too.
And now Colton Bennett's going to have a chance to become a legend in the bottom half of this inning with the outing he's had so far. Cassidy now, he's at 15 pitches. They want to keep him under 25, and the 16th is low for ball 4. So he's got 8 more before I imagine Coach Wall is going to come out and get him based on what we've seen today, and it may be now. Tripp coming out here after the walk puts runners at the corners. Tristan Wood, that's his second walk of the day. Eddie Rivera's coming up next, and we'll see if this is a visit or if it's a change coming here for the McKenzie Rebels.
That is a very longing look.
Yeah, Cassidy's looking away. He's not taking the ball yet. We will wait and see if there is going to be a move here or not. It's runners at the corners here. Jay Foster led it off with a single in the left. Then a sacrifice bunt moved him over by Kyle Adams.
I'll leave him out there.
And it is still, as we mentioned, about 8 pitches left before he would hit that 24 mark that we've seen him come and get the last guy.
So this will be his last batter.
More likely than not. With 2 outs here, Eddie Rivera. He has struck out, walked, and singled so far. Reached in his last 2 plate appearances. And he will stand in here against Jake Cassidy. He's trying to get out of a jam and give the bats a chance. In the bottom half, it's going to be 6, 7, 8 due up for the Rebels.
And Cassidy, you could tell he was upset that he gave up the run. But again, McKenzie, they're obviously going to have another chance coming up in the bottom of the inning.
Rivera shows bunt. He pulls back. Runner takes off. There is no throw. It was that snap throw, but caught by the pitcher. And a domino stolen base puts Tristan Wood into scoring position. The attention is on the batter here for the McKenzie Rebels. Trying to stop any more from coming across. 1-0. Big swing and a miss. It was actually foul tip. Same result. Strike 1.
Looks like a little off speed possibly there.
Says 0-2 in the building. I'm not sure if it's 0-2 or 1-1. We'll find out. Pitch comes into Rivera. Swung on and missed. And it is strike 3. So it was 0-2, and that will retire the side. So the mound visit works, but not before the damage is done by the Gordonsville Tigers as they have taken the lead. 2-1, and it is back to work on the mound for Colton Bennett trying to slam the door. We'll have potentially the finish when we come back. Coverage of this Class Single A State Tournament game is presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy, UCR Media Network.
From the sports field to the hunting field, our friends at Hall Sports and Outdoors can outfit anyone. Located in the heart of Jamestown at 207 South Main Street, Hall Sports and Outdoors carries everything from kayaks, fishing gear, and camo to guns and ammo. With top brands such as Columbia, Timberland, Under Armour, Asics, and much more, nobody can top their selection. Need some custom gear for your team? They also offer uniforms, gear, and custom embroidery. Stop by and see them at 207 South Main Street in Jamestown. Hall Sports and Outdoors, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Clint Connor is your local auctions expert. With full service from start to finish, the Exit Crossroads Auction Group are here to make the process easy for you. Visit crossroadsauctiongroup.com for more details and current auctions. Clint Connor, your local auctions expert, is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Welcome back. For the first time in the ball game, Gordonsville leads McKenzie. It's 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. Two up in this half inning, trying to extend or win the game. Gage Crosland, Leland Gordon, and Cragen Travis. 6, 7, 8 in the Rebels order, and they're facing off against, once again, it is Colton Bennett. Through 100 pitches so far, he has 13 strikeouts, and he has the potential, if he can go through this inning clean, of putting together the best start in the history of Gordonsville baseball in the state tournament.
Yeah, especially the way that it started. I think that's the biggest key, is he started so poorly and then was able to really gather himself. It was bases loaded in what, 1 out? Not even an out in that first inning, and only one run came across. So he really is bared down and was perfect through the middle part of the innings.
He walked home a run with nobody out, and since then he has struck out 13 batters, and only 2 have reached. 1 was on a drop third strike, and 1 was on a single, both in the 6th. As now Gage Crosland stands in. He has popped out, and he swings at the first pitch that he sees and misses. He's also struck out in the game.
Well, that helps because he's only got 19 pitches left right now.
He's at 101, a maximum of 120. The 0-1. This one's ripped, and he flashes the leather. Throw over to first is in time. Colton Bennett shows off the defensive prowess, and they're down to their final 2 outs tonight.
That's a heck of a play. He tried to get one earlier in the game that was kind of behind his back. That time in front of him, able to stick it out and glove it, and down to the final 2 outs. And again, if you win this one, it sets yourself up so much better for tomorrow. Obviously, you still got to get a win tomorrow, but you move into that winner's bracket quarterfinals instead of having your backs against the wall.
1 run on 2 hits so far for McKenzie, as that one is fouled back. Leland Gordon in the batter's box. He has struck out twice so far today. This is the stuff legends are made out of, the start you're seeing out of Colton Bennett tonight. That slider, and again, he's just a sophomore, 1-1.
They're still going to get him for a few more years.
1 ball, 1 strike. Best case scenario for McKenzie, obviously they want to score a run, is to get him out of the game by forcing him to throw pitches. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball, called a strike. 1-2.
That's the biggest thing, though, is that you can't get him to throw pitches because he's in the zone every single time. And when you're down a run, you got to be aggressive.
1 swing of the bat can tie the game in a 1-run game. Here comes the 1-2 slider, just outside. You could feel the anticipation behind us. They don't get the call. 2-2.
He was about to throw down to third base as well and go around the horn.
2-2 coming here to Gordon. Kick and deal, fastball, good battle here, and now they are running that pitch count up some. 2-2, 5 pitches in this AB.
So should be about 14 left.
About 107 possibly. Got it pulled up here. Another one. 2-2. Bennett delivers. Fouled off. And Gordon is doing a job here, as that one was 107.
Yeah, 13 left. And then he has to be taken out. It's capped off right there.
He's going to take a little lap as that throw got away. 107 pitches for Colton Bennett.
So you'd like to set this guy out on this pitch right here.
Leland Gordon, he's doing the job. If he can put it in play, a decision has to be made. The 2-2 fastball swung on and missed. The 14th Birdies Lounge strikeout of the game. And McKenzie's down to their final out. Cragen Travis, who's 0 for 2 with 2 punch-outs, will try and keep the Rebels alive tonight.
A little bit of a strut around the mound as well, and now 2 outs in the inning. He's got 12 pitches remaining, it looks like. Yeah, 12 pitches remaining. 11 pitches remaining here for
now.
This batter.
Travis trying to put it in play. Colton Bennett with the start of his life tonight. Fastball fouled back, 0-1.
That's a start.
It's his one time he's going to pitch in this tournament, and he is making it count. 0-1.
I mean, this has been tremendous. And again, he threw, 30-some pitches in the first inning?
He did.
And he's here in the 7th.
He's ahead 0-1. Pitch into Travis. 0-2. Slider. Swung on and missed. The Tigers are a strike away.
I'm ripping that 3 more times.
Here comes the 0-2. And this is actually Gordon. My apologies. The pitch in. The 0-2 misses for a ball. One and two. This is number 8, Johnsey at the plate. Here comes the 1-2. Misses outside. 2-2 now. Pinch hitter. Johnsey trying to keep the Rebels alive. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, fouled back, and Bennett sitting down on the mound was going to have to do it again, and now the pitch count again. This is going to be likely the last batter he faces, either in a win or because they have to make the move. Xander Johnsey at the plate.
6 or 7 left.
He's at 114 pitches.
6 left.
Xander Johnsey, the pinch hitter. The 2-2 from Bennett. Fastball misses. 3-2. This next pitch is number 116, and it comes in a full count. Here comes the 3-2. Swung on and missed. The Gordonsville Tigers get it done. Final score, Tigers 2, Rebels 1, and it is the 15th strikeout of the game for Colton Bennett, who gets a well-deserved hug from his coach. What a performance by the sophomore left-hander tonight.
That's incredible. That was absolutely incredible. And you think about the start that he had, bases loaded with nobody out in the bottom of the first. He walks home a run and bears down, able to make some really big pitches, and then turns into apparently Randy Johnson for the rest of the game. And, I mean, that's absolutely tremendous. You saw Bennett earlier this year. You did a game with them playing Upperman. They got beat 10-0. Alec Wilson was pitching for the Bees in that game. Bennett did not have his best stuff. He had his absolute best stuff today, and especially after that first inning, he was great. And you don't even have to ask. He's going to be the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the game. But obviously, you go look at the bats, too. They needed some really big hits in this game, and they got it out of the top half of the lineup. The small ball worked, able to produce a run in that top half of the 7th to get the go-ahead run. And now you feel so much more comfortable playing at 12:30 tomorrow. Your backs are not against the wall, and you're in the driver's seat going forward in this tournament.
An unbelievable performance tonight out of Colton Bennett. It should not be lost, the job that the pitchers for McKenzie did in a couple of great plays that they made, particularly at home in this game. But today, the story goes to Colton Bennett. And how about this stat line? 116 pitches, 7 innings, complete game, 1 hit, 1 run, 3 walks, 15 strikeouts in the game. He is the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the game. RBIs tonight by Tucker Smith and Sam Albritton. That gets it done for the Gordonsville Tigers. For McKenzie, they will turn their attention towards an elimination game against Halls tomorrow at 10 a.m. here on this field. Gordonsville faces the University School out of Johnson City at 12:30. The loser of that Gordonsville University game will face off against the winner of the Halls-McKenzie game at 5:30 in another elimination game. Your final score tonight from Rockville. Gordonsville gets it done, 2-1 on the back of an absolute gem by Colton Bennett on the mound for the Tigers. We hope you'll join us tomorrow for complete coverage across the spring fling, and of course later on tonight at UpperCumberlandReporter.com, all presented by our friends at Gentry's Power Equipment. I'm Noah McKay for Jacob Vincent to my right, Rusty and Goose down on the field, and everybody at UCR saying so long for now from Rockville. Have a great night, everybody.